Survive the Nights has just added a massive update, which comes with a brand new power station to power the entire island. Now you're going to need a few things to get in there and get through it unscathed. Today I'm going to show you how you can raid the small police station. It's quickly, it's easy, you can get loads of good weapons and sometimes some good aid items out of this, depending on what your spawning and loot spawning ratio is. If you've got it low, you won't come across with as many resources, but if you have got it high, you'll just need to do this once or twice at the beginning of the game, and you'll be relatively set when it comes to weapons. The hard thing is ammo. You will need to go through tons of zombies and search them. They are the best place to find ammo easily without having to raid anything. But the police station is one of the key locations that you'll need to come to get yourself some decent weaponry and some good attachments. You won't be able to enter the prison or the power plant without raiding one of these first. Now, you will need to go through several locations to get them, such as gun stores, and you'll need to get some power supplies as well, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. But before we do, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more Survive the Nights. Now, to get a nice quantity of weapons, just to get you started before you raid any of the main facilities, you're going to want to come to a sort of little strip mall like this. You want to look for Kensington Hunting, which is the orange and red logo up there. I'll show you where it is on the map in just a second. So, pretty simple. There's lots of them. They look like a pistol and ammunition. There's about 5 located all over Black Island. So, keep that in mind. There's a decent chunk of weaponry in them, depending on your loot spawn. That's the downside to this. If you've got low looting or low loot spawn, you're not going to find too much. If you've got medium or high, you get some good stuff. But as you can see, we've got Clinchester, double-barreled. There's also a lot of ammunition. These reset every few days. Certain bits of loot come in, so the longer you leave it, the more there'll be once you've come back. I looted this the day before yesterday, and as you can see, a couple of the guns have come back, but not too much ammo. So these are some of the easiest places to get decent firearms. When it comes to ammo, search these dudes. This is one of probably the best ways to get any amount of ammunition. Just hunting down zombies and looting their bodies. You do have to loot quickly, obviously, because otherwise they disappear like that. But taking these guys down, you get a lot of 12 gauge and 9mm ammunition. So pretty good, pretty worth it. And you get a bit of XP to boot. Now you are going to need 3 things to get this up and running, assuming you haven't got the power plant and this is your first POI. First one is an extension cord, which can be found at any of these, which are located on every house and every building in the game. And then circuit breakers. You'll need 10 of them, as well as some fuel. Now fuel can be found anywhere. Your best job is to get the car dealerships or the garages, so you can get a gas canister and then you can just take fuel from any car without being any level. Now there are several police stations located throughout the map, and they're not just important for weapons. You will need to gain access to these to get into the prison at a later stage in gameplay. This is normally an end game activity, but if you are brave you can do it early. Now the police stations like this, it's just a police badge with the P sign on it. There is one over here at Addersfield, one over to the left up here by Union Point, and then obviously you've got the prison itself, which is basically a giant police station. Now once you're inside the police station, it's going to be relatively busy. There's a lot of zombies in here. Sometimes the doors will be open if you're playing public and other people have already been on the server, but these are basically guarding the entire armory. But what you want to do is go straight down the stairs if these doors are not already open and nobody else has been here, and head all the way down to the back. Just keep following the rooms down. Relatively straightforward path, you can't really go wrong. There's lots of zombies hidden and locked in rooms in these, so you do need some decent weaponry. A lot of them turn into sprinters, and you do have to get through these guys. You can't lead them outside, it won't work. There's just too many of them, and it just causes a bit of a problem later down the line. Now the red doors there are ones that are going to be power locked, so if you don't have power open, you won't be able to open these. Now make sure you've got a decent amount of healing stuff with you, because yeah, it does get dicey. Now once you've dealt with all the zombies in the corridor, you want to head right down to the back end here. And down here you will find the generator, which as long as you've got some fuel in there. Now there is a failsafe, so if they do run out of fuel, they don't actually turn off, which is strange. So you only really need to put one amount of fuel in there. But as long as you get them up and running, everything upstairs will go off. You'll hear a big alarm, and then a lot of zombies will come running down the stairs. So if you've got the actual cell doors locked, there's going to be a lot more that follow you down. So it does get a little bit more difficult if the cell doors aren't already open. Now, once you've cleared them out and you've got your way back to the stairwell, you want to keep pushing forward. Don't, try as hard as you can not to fall back too much, because there's an alarm that goes off, so the zombies are pretty much continually coming. They don't really stop. So if you can push far forward as quickly as you can, that makes it a little bit easier. But just make sure you watch your back before you open any of the big red doors. And you've got a little bit of a fallback position that you can go back to. Now, when you've made it back up to the top of the stairs and the zombies aren't pushing you too far back, this red door here will trigger a sort of wave. There's a whole bunch of them in here. As soon as you open the door, they'll all start coming, and they follow through the little alleyways. So you can just sit here. As long as you've not got a lot behind you, you'll be fine. But if you are using firearms, it does bring more to you. They're very sensitive to noise. So once you've dealt with those guys and you're no longer being pushed backwards, just go through. This will bring you into the cell block. Most of these lockers don't have much in them other than sort of empty cans. So if you want to search them, you can, but you will just constantly be faced with zombies that keep coming. They don't stop until you've sort of pushed through this area. So once you're in here, you're pretty much clear now. There's not going to be too many that push through. The cells don't really have anything in. There's not really too much in there. Occasionally you'll come across some sort of sharpening stone or something like that in there. But check the offices, because these guys is where you will get the prison keycard. Now, you'll need this to get into the prison at a later stage in gameplay. We are going to do another video on how you raid and clear the prison. That'll be coming out in a couple of days' time. Now, once you've pushed forward, go all the way to the end of the corridor. If you haven't come across a prison keycard yet, you will find one in this room, either on this table or on any of the desks that you can see dotted around. So definitely come into this one if you haven't got any keycards yet. And then this back room here is the evidence locker, which is where, if you've got high loot settings, this will be filled with medkits, weapons. This will have loads of good stuff on if you've got a really high loot spawn. But if you fail in that one, go all the way down the stairs. Now here again, you will come across a lot of zombies, so it's good to open this door to give you a bit of an escape if you do need it. These guys you can shoot through the holes here. As long as you've got no of the grating in front of you, you can shoot through it. It just gives you a bit of breathing room when you get through the door there. Now the garage. Normally there's a police car in here, but not today, which is a bit of a shame. The police car is a very cool car to have. Now, once you've cleared this area out, and you're going to want to clear it out, make sure you've got fully loaded weapons, because you're going to have a bunch of heavy zombies coming out of here. These guys have got armor on them, so they will take 2 to 3 shots. If you're using something like the Winchester, which is normally a one-shot against the standard zombies. If you've got a shotgun, shotgun's pretty beastly, destroys them pretty quickly. Or if you've already raided it once and you've got the Mark IV, that thing annihilates the whole pack in just one mag, which is brilliant. And now you are in the armory. Now this is great. This is one of the better parts of the game. Coming into these things and just loading up like a mother sets you up really, really well for the Horde Nights. Now you can find the R6804, the sniper rifle, the SBJSR, which is the pump action shotgun, the FRKS12, which is the burst shotgun, and you can find some double barrels as well as the HP5, or well, Mark IV, which is what I'm using right now. Which this gun, pretty damn cool. You can, as long as you get a silencer on it as well, this thing will be sweet. You'll be able to go through a lot of areas relatively easily without occurring. Now you can occasionally find some sights, some silencers. The red dot is one of the harder ones. Normally you can only find that at the prison, but I have on off chances found it here. So definitely worth getting in. This is the only place as well that you can get 18 gauge and 5.56 rounds. You won't be able to farm them from any zombies. You'll only be able to get the standard ammo from the zombies. But once you've got that, you can then open this gate here. If the police car isn't in here, pop this open, and there's normally one outside, which, yep, there we are, and that is the police truck as well. So you've got yourself the prison keycard, police truck, and hopefully some better weapons. Now this will set you up. You may need to do this once or twice using some of those lower end weapons, like the pistols, the Lola Gary, Winchester, and load up on ammunition. That is one of the better ways to prepare for sort of end game games like the prison and the actual power plant itself. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get through that bit. Gets you some easy stuff to progress through and move on to endgame a lot easier. If this was helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and stick around for more Survive the Night stuff. If you want to see some certain things, let me know in the comments down below, like how to grow food and how to power buildings, all of that good stuff. Follow those buttons, I greatly appreciate it. For now, though, up and wide, you've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.